Hey, welcome
I
in,
love the
everyone.
elevator music.
What?
I said I
I
love the
love
elevator
elevator
music.
music.
Oh, welcome in, everyone. Appreciate you all joining us on what is now TRC Uncensored. Used to be TRC Talk, so we changed it a little bit. So I hope y'all doing well. And hey, Will, what do you want to talk about?
Well, there's only one thing you can really talk about on a day like this after the great announcement we just had a few days ago. We've talked about this thing for years and years, and that is let's talk about Lex, baby. I mean, you
All
could
right,
almost make a song out of let's
you got
talk
to
about
sing it.
Lex.
Let's talk about Lex,
Let's talk
baby.
about Lex, baby. Yeah.
Well,
So,
we're uncensored now. Now we
yeah.
can talk about sex.
You can only be crazy one day a week, so here we are.
Well,
Let's be crazy
well, the
one day a week.
problem
TRC
is
Raw.
the problem is though we're talking about Lex, not sex. But we can talk about that another time. Uh, you know, I know I was super excited. I know you guys were too. And first of all, before we get into talking about Lex, let's talk about Diamond Dallas Page. You
Hmm.
know, how many
Right.
times have I closed the show talking about how people are here and put in our lives for a reason and a point? Man, you talk about somebody that has helped so many people along the way. And you talk about being selfless. That is a selfless man. And a brief conversation between him and Lex turned into, let me see if I can help you walk again. Let me see if I can help you stand again. Let me see if I can help you do something more with your life. And yeah, he's got some skeletons in the closet. So does everybody. But the man was confined to a chair. I have spent time in hotel rooms with Lex, having conversations. I've seen the scene, the scenario of his room. I've seen the bed, how it's been unmade. I've seen how the chair sits next to the bed and how hard it is for him to get in and out. The handicap rooms, the fact that he has to depend on somebody to, take him everywhere. Basically, he drives on his own, but take him everywhere to help him with the chair and all this stuff. But he's still doing it. He's out there doing it. And DDP said, you know what? Let me see if I can help you. And if you watch that where Lex stands up, man, if that didn't just give you a little bag over the head
Feels.
punch in the face there, like what a moment. You don't have to love the guy. You don't even have to like the guy. But the fact that that guy is still willing to get up and fight every day to do something more, standing up and you can see the emotion in his face. A lot of people talk about Hall of Fame is it's just a pretend thing and there's no real building and all that stuff. But wrestlers have just as much athletic ability, if not more, than a football player. And yes, there's a football Hall of Fame. I believe one day there will be a WWE standing building Hall of Fame. And whether there's a building or not, I still believe it's a recognition of everything they've done with their lives. But back to Lex, DDP, God bless DDP for the things that he's done for these folks. Look at Scott Hall, look at Jake, look at different guys. I honestly believe that
Butterbean can walk
DDP,
now.
Butterbean too, yeah, great point. But I believe, you know, I think Jake would have been gone 10, 15 years ago had it not been for DDP. I think he would have been gone and done.
Agreed.
I think
Agreed.
Razor had an extension to his life of what it would have been,
Yep.
thanks to DDP. Yeah, so and then you get on the Lex, talk about, late 80s, came onto the scene, Four Horsemen, beautiful looking figure. The guy, the total package put together. He could talk, he could work, he could do whatever he needed to do. And then, you just fast forward so much through the career, two-time world champion, first ever WCW champion to wear that 91 to 94 belt. Held the U.S. title for more consecutive days than any other champion in the history of the U.S. Championship. If you look at the combined reigns, so what a talent! It's finally time to have him recognized. And he's had some wrestling with the devil, reference to his book. But I tell you what, there's not a lot of people that I don't spend, you know, a day in day out life with that I tell that I love. But every time I see Lex, I tell him I love him.
Have
And
you read
when
his
I
book yet?
say I have, when I say prayers, I pray for my family. I don't generally pray for myself, but I pray for my family. I pray for my children mostly, and I'll say a prayer for Lex. Because I believe there's good in the man, even though there wasn't always. So, but that's really what I kind of wanted to get across when I said let's talk about Lex, baby. And what are your thoughts there, Kev?
Well, people change, and he is definitely one that has changed. I love meeting him. I love talking to him. He's a very generous guy, and if you get to talking to him, he'll talk to you about the wrestling business. If you would have talked to the Lex back then about the wrestling business, I think he would have told you to fuck off.
Yep.
But like I said, people change. He loves talking about wrestling now. I had somebody told me the other day that Lex hated the wrestling business. From what he tells me, that he loved it, enjoyed it. So he maybe would have rather played football, but just a great guy. Just loves life. He's loving life right now. He loves what he's doing. Uh, you seen that clip with Jacob Fatu putting that wheelchair in the back of his vehicle, and Fatu Jacob, paying him respect. The young generation of this business loves Lex, and that shows it because they're paying him respect. Just so happy, over the moon for him. That's all I can really say. Just so freaking happy for him because he's a great guy.
Kev, you mentioned Butterbean a couple minutes ago. The last time I saw Butterbean, I mean, I've probably seen her since then, but the last time I remember seeing Butterbean was back in 2021, and Butterbean had one of those mobile wheelchairs that you like drive around.
Yes, sir.
They're like the open front mobile wheelchairs, and he was probably, I don't know, I'm just gonna rough guess between 350 400 pounds riding around one of those wheelchairs. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's scheduled to have an MMA style fight coming up
I've seen that.
next month. So he transitioned from what I just explained to you and described to you in that wheelchair to the point where when I saw him in 2021, I didn't even know who he was. Somebody had to tell me, hey, don't you know that's Butterbean? And I'm like, I don't think so, man. That might be like Butterbean's dad.
He was hunched over.
It was bad. So, and now he's going to have a fight next month. That's incredible. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe DDP needs to do some work with Tyson. I don't know. What's up, Mrs. TRC, Mrs. Hudson? Welcome in, Jessica. All right, let's move along. Does anybody else got anything on Lex? Anybody else want to talk about Lex?
I just want to say, so obviously, last year in Indy was the first time I met him, and I brought him the Chase figure to get signed, and he was just shocked when he seen it. He goes, "Oh, this is my Chase figure." He was talking to me, about all kinds of things, and really nice guy. But I was watching that video of when Cody came to surprise him, and there was like a longer excerpt, and he was talking about his kids, how his kids aren't part of his life, and I really hope that with his changes and with him going through all this stuff, I hope he gets a chance to reunite with them, and because like Kev said, he's a changed man, and he admitted his regrets and everything like that, and so hopefully he gets the chance to reconnect with them, and
I've got to read that book. I have to read that book. I'll have to get it.
If you want it, I'll send it to you. I'll send you mine to read unless you're going to buy it. I'll send you mine.
Well, I eventually want a copy, but I will talk about it later and see what I figure out I want to do.
Okay.
I change my mind every 5 minutes.
You might be able to buy it in Indy from Lex Luger, probably.
Yeah, he's had it on his table before.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think mine is signed. I don't think I ever got it signed because I always got other stuff done. But it's a sweet book. But you're more welcome to borrow it if you want to read it, or you can get you one or whatever.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I'll let you know. Anybody else want to comment on Lex going to the Hall of Fame?
So does Lex get any credit for kind of jumping off the Monday Night Wars since he was one of the first key pieces to switch over like that?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think he probably is recognized because they look at that as like the biggest shot fired because that was on the debut of Monday Nitro. But you're never going to hear a lot of people talk about it because everybody talks about Lex, generally talks about Liz dying. So you're never going to get into that part of it. But, ultimately the biggest shot fired, Hogan was already gone from WWF. Most people don't know that, but Hogan was already gone from WWF. Hogan was supposed to leave after WrestleMania 8 in 92. He came back for a short run. I think it was like a 30 city tour or something like that in 93. Did a couple pay-per-views and was gone. And Hogan was already gone, starting WCW. Really, the big shot that was fired prior to Nitro kicking off was Macho Man, because like nobody
Right.
expected that. Vince McMahon came on Raw and said Godspeed to Macho Man and thank you for everything over the past so many years. And then like 2 weeks later, Macho Man popped up on Saturday Night Main Event. So that was really the big shot that was fired. But I mean, Lex came in and they didn't know what to do with him, like a lot of
Right.
characters. He
Yeah.
came in, and if you look, like he probably worked with Ming and Kamala and some of the other undercard guys for several months. I mean, King Phil, you've been watching Nitro like me.
Mhm.
He
You
didn't
see
know
the
what to do with
matches.
him.
He
He was
had the
face one
feuds with
week. He was
Macho
heel the
Man.
next.
Yeah, he had the feuds with Macho. He was going nowhere fast, and then all of a sudden they put him and Sting together because the Road Warriors were coming back. So
Yeah.
Right. So that was awesome. All right. Anybody else got a comment on Lex? If not, we're going to go on to the next. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, let's go. Round table number one with natural disasters getting in the Hall of Fame. What other tag teams should be next? Let's roll, Brian.
So I have two. I have Demolition, and this team formerly, or I mean, I guess recently joined partnership. I'd say the Hardy Boys. I think those two should probably be inducted.
Hell the picks. That's great picks. So do you think the Hardys should go in before Demolition?
No,
Do you have
Demolition
an
should be
order?
in already. Demolition's long overdue.
Right. Okay, Will.
I honestly believe that the Powers of Pain really should be in there because they were such an impressive team. They worked so many different territories.
Agreed.
I believe they should be in there, and I think there should be almost like a special wing. You know how they have the celebrity wing, but I think they should have like a tag team wing, basically, where you can induct like 3 or 4 teams in a year. Because there's so many that you can do. And the thing is, you don't have to do just what we think of as the traditional tag teams. So, we think about Demolition, we think about the Hardys, we think about the Powers of Pain. But what about the teams of like, say, Macho Man and the Ultimate Warrior, or Hogan and Macho Man as the Mega Powers, or DiBiase and Virgil, or DiBiase and the Giant? I think you could really expand that tag team wing if you would do it right. And even if you put 2 or 3 teams in per year, as long as you did it that way, you could make that last 20 years plus and never have an issue. You're not going to run out of teams. So, Tatanka and Bam Bam, what a tremendous team. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long-term, multiple-time champion tag team. I don't think that's what you need. I think you need to bring the focus out into the fact that these people, they drove the tag team circuit. It's such a huge thing. Even going all the way back to, Spivey and Sid, what a team that was.
Right.
And, Ron Simmons went in 2012, but, I wouldn't mind seeing Doom entered in.
One of my favorite teams.
So I think there's a lot of play there that you could really go after if they would do that. I think there's too much of the let's recognize the celebrity wing. And one of the best awards, part of it they ever had, was the Warrior Award. And I'm not sure 100%, but I feel like they've done away with that.
Yeah, they didn't have it last year.
And I felt like that was one of the best things they ever did.
Yeah, they did go away with that.
And that literally came from nothing more than his speech in 2014 when he said, we need to recognize these people behind the scenes, which, of course, they didn't recognize the people behind the scenes. They started recognizing people
Yeah.
all over outside of wrestling, which is fine. But the whole idea was to recognize the people behind the scenes. So
He was wanting to recognize a cameraman, wasn't he? And people
the
behind it.
the original merchandise salespeople was what it was, I think.
Okay, cool deal. All right, Guru.
I got a couple. Obviously, Demolition have to go. There's great individuals. First of all, and they was a hell of a tag team. Second of all, you guys are gonna look at me crazy, but the world
Not
greatest
sure.
tag team,
Don't we
Shelton
let-
Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
That's not crazy.
I feel like they were very, very underrated. Like people, yes, they had Kurt Angle, who was a Hall of Famer, gold medalist, leading them. They were really good.
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't get. Yeah, they were they were tag team champions, but I felt like they were underutilized at that time. There was not a lot of tag teams at that. There was, but you threw together like Hurricane and Rosie. You just threw together people, but those two actually worked together. Like I feel like they deserve, and then this one's going to be a real long shot. Probably will never happen, but I'm going to say the Gangsters from ECW, New
That's
Jack,
okay.
Yeah.
and
That's a good
Mufasa
one.
Saeed. Just
Eliminators.
because
Hell,
you could pick multiple ECW tag teams, but the Gangsters. They just the fact that they weren't a character. That was them. That was them. And I just felt like those ECW tag teams that are good don't get credit from some people that they should. And then my last one is the Head Shrinkers.
Oh yeah.
of course.
Come on, man.
I agree.
Any form of combination of the Head Shrinkers. That's a young Rakishi. Agile. You look at him and you look at Solo, and man, you're like, that's Rakishi when he was.
But then they go back in WCW as Samoan SWAT team also. So
Yeah,
they've been
yeah.
together.
I just feel like a couple of those teams deserve to be in.
So you're talking about the world's greatest tag team, just in my opinion. Because I think they were great. I just never thought that Charlie Haas's mind was completely in wrestling when he lost his brother, because they were always going to win the tag championship together, and he made them great. But I just don't think his heart was in it after his brother passed.
Yeah, I agree. But when him and Shelton were on, they were amazing.
Oh, they were on.
Not to mention Shelton doesn't age. The guy still looks 25.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
great wrestler. Collegiate.
Hey, while we're at it, welcome in Chuck Waggle, welcome in Lou, welcome in Dan Gleason, welcome in Garrett. Anybody else I might have missed? Welcome in. I see a lot of comments popping up too. So go ahead.
Welcome in, Justin. Go ahead, Shane.
I was reading the comments. Chuck put Bushwhackers, but I believe they're in it, aren't they?
They are 2015, I believe.
Yeah. I agree. I think Demo should be in it. Brian had a good one with the Hardys. I think maybe not right now, but the New Day, I think that should get in. I'm not a fan of them, but they've been around, got a lot of won a bunch of titles.
Man, how can you not like the New Day?
Yeah, not a fan. New Day sucks. I'm gonna go with the Hart Foundation. The Bret Hitman Hart and the Anvil.
Yeah, they went in. They went in 2019. But it's still. It's a great choice. It's still a great team. But they did finally get in 19.
Sweet.
I'll tell you who else too. A lot of people overlook them, but the Awesome Truth, R-Truth, and Miz, man, what a team those guys were.
Yeah,
Awesome
I agree.
Truth.
And they have a figure set that I am going to get that's coming out of those.
Yeah,
Those guys.
what a great team.
The belt.
R-Truth is so unappreciated in this world, and he is a gem in this world.
He is.
Agreed.
and a great talent. I mean, he's comedic, but he can wrestle.
He is a true gem in this world, man.
Roger.
Roger, what you got?
Ah, it's already been said. Demo and Powers of Pain. I mean, how can you not? As far as any of the upcomers like Edge and Christian or the Hardys or anybody like that that's still around and still doing it, I mean, I could see in a few years or something, but right now, I don't know how you can't put Demo or Powers of Pain in there.
Yeah, also too, the head shrinkers were just brought up. That was a team that was just brought up. When Samu got sick and was out, they ended up putting Barbarian in as the alternate head shrinker
Yep.
as Sione. And that's another guy that absolutely deserves to be in, even if he was in on his own and not part of a tag team. Barbarian, tremendous talent. Haku, of course, tremendous talent. So, and those two guys, Haku and Barbarian, they teamed up quite a bit in WWF as well.
Faces of Fear, right?
Hey, don't forget the Godwins. Don't forget about those Godwins.
Another one.
What about the Brothers of Destruction?
Yeah, I know. See what I'm saying though about the tag team wing?
Right.
There's so many that you could do.
I mean,
So
the Minnesota stretching crew.
Yeah.
Rock and Sock Connection.
Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
Brainbusters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Triple H and Stone Cold.
See,
yeah.
Another one.
Roger and Field.
How can you not put? Shut up,
Roger.
How can you put the Four Horsemen in, but not put the Brainbusters in?
That's what I'm saying. They need to. They've got it as well. They're already in. So be it kind of thing. But it's kind of like Billy Gunn, who's in with DX, but Billy Gunn also should be in a separate wing under the Smoking Guns too.
Smoking Guns.
I agree.
Yeah.
Calvin, we're not ignoring you. We know it's your turn. Calvin Mania running wild.
You're good. So I'm gonna say the Mega Powers, Macho Man and Hogan.
Absolutely.
Right. And then I'm shooting way out in left field back in WCW, one of my favorite tag teams, Stars and Stripes. The Patriot, Morgan Alexander Bagwell.
Another great one.
Absolutely.
Yep. I love it. Great team to remember. I'm glad you thought of that one.
Bagwell had several people that,
Lou just came up with the team of the night. Lou said Will Hudson and Ben Bowen for the Hall of Fame, and I agree 100% wholeheartedly.
The other night.
That's right. King Phil.
That's
right.
So like you said, Will, as far as the tag teams, I think it should be more about impact that the tag teams had versus championship runs or something to that degree. I don't think you can measure it by that. The British Bulldogs, I feel like should be in.
Hell yeah.
Doom, of course. Demolition, of course. And then is the Midnight Express, did they ever get in?
No.
I know the Rock and Roll Express did, but I don't think Midnight Express did.
I would put the Midnight Express in, and then I would also put in there's one more. I mean, there's plenty more, like you said earlier, but there's one more that I was really thinking about. I can't remember. Oh, the Rockers. I mean,
yeah,
the impact that they had, the trajectory it put Shawn Michaels on. I mean, it was one of the top tag teams back then. And like you all said, also the Hart Foundation. I mean, there's plenty of tag teams that I think that should deserve to go in. I think the Hardy Boys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian should all go in together.
Dudleys are in, aren't they?
Are they already in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
if the Dudleys are in, then there's no reason why the other two aren't in, really, to be honest.
See,
I mean, the Dudleys
I didn't know the Rockers weren't in. I thought the Rockers were in it.
No,
they never went. No. Sean's in individually. Sean is in.
Yeah.
But now, see, again,
you see an individual and DX. He's in with DX too.
Right. But you see what I'm saying, though? Like, he's in solo, though, because you got to think about Marty here. So he's in solo, but how does it make sense that you don't go and grab that tag team and create that? What a a big piece of the puzzle I think that's missing that they could really go after. And I think from the fan perspective, you could do a lot with it. You got to remember too,
Yeah.
a lot of these teams were huge in the 80s for us guys. And, some of us aren't around anymore. And some of us, the clock's ticking. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you wait another 30 years to put in some of these guys, there's not going to be a lot of people that knows who the hell they are,
Exactly.
So
See,
we
and
want to,
that goes back to what Phil was saying and what I said about Brainbusters and Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
You can't say the Rock and Roll Express without talking about the Midnight Express. So how the hell is the
Right,
Midnight Express
So
not in there?
They
I
beat
think
each other.
I think some of it can. I mean, I'm just shooting off the hip. Could be that some of them have better individual careers than they.
absolutely.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just maybe I don't know what their thinking is, but like
They
the Four
absolutely
Horsemen,
do. They absolutely do. You're 100% spot on. I mean, that's exactly the thought process I think that's used. Like Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid's career is, kind of stands out on its own compared to the Rockers. But by
right?
doing that, don't you leave out a tremendous piece of that legacy and that puzzle?
You
Yeah,
do.
like the smoking guns, like y'all said.
Kind of like Roger said. How do you do the brain? How not the brain bust, but you got the Four Horsemen. I think if you ask people, they don't know who the Four Horsemen are before they will the Brain Busters. Some people,
Right.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
and I think that some people, is they just don't know nobody. They just don't know.
But
Yeah.
if you go back, it's like Kev said, Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express made each other.
Right.
I can't tell you how
which,
many.
But then you look at which version of the Midnight Express do you put in?
With Stan Lane, of course.
Yeah,
Well, obviously Stan Lane, but I mean, do you go?
But you bring
Bobby,
Dennis too.
Dennis,
Why
you go
not?
Dennis, you go Bobby, you go Bart Gunn, and go Bart Gunn with the new
Hell
Midnight
no.
Express.
no,
I
no.
thought that was a nightmare. You
Well,
tell me that
I
was
know
real?
that. I know that.
No.
But do you see how they could? Which Midnight Express do we pick?
And don't forget about old Steve Kern.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Hey, I
good
want
old
to
Steve
catch up
Kern.
with I want to
Steve
catch up with
Kern
his
was
comments.
part of a
Justin
lot of
Larson.
different feuds.
Justin
Steve
Larson
Kern
had
was
some
part
good
of a
ones.
lot of
You had
different feuds.
Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty Too Hottie, Chuck
Yeah.
Waggle will show his Funk Brothers.
Yep.
Lou has the
Hey,
Hollywood Blondes, and she also commented up
so
here.
speaking
Lady
of
Cole
the
and
funk,
Moolah
hey,
and Mae Young.
Kev, speaking of the Funk Brothers, so Terry's in,
Right.
and I
Right.
think Dory is in as an honorable
Doris
mention,
is, yeah.
Right.
but not over, like it's the Funk Brothers, So, and I think that's wrong too. They do a lot of that, deceased, and they do the, the honorable mentions where they'll put like 10 people up at one time and show it. But we need to see the actual induction, and there should be more history. One thing that I really like that I've seen going all the way back to WrestleMania 28 is they started doing those bronze statues of the talents, and I think you could do a lot more of those. And that is your pillar. That's your basis for walking into a Hall of Fame is just to see those. They call it WWE World now. It used to be the what the hell did they call it? Access is what they called it back then, but now it's called WWE World. But just that alone is enough to walk in the front door and see those statues. I was actually there in Orlando back in 2017 when they unveiled the Ric Flair statue. I was standing right there in front of the ring. I was right in front of it. Triple H, Stephanie, Charlotte, all of them ripped down the thing with Flair statue. It was great. But there's a lot of guys that they could be doing those for.
Now let me play devil's advocate. And let me say, well, if they've been asked, but they just like, I don't give a shit.
Well, then that's different.
I mean, could that be a possibility?
I think some of them it could be a possibility, but I think some of them too would enjoy the payday of a Legends deal.
Absolutely.
So
I just wonder if someone's been asked and they're like, you know what, I don't want anything.
I don't think there'd be
same
a lot,
same exact conversation, right? So Manuel, same exact conversation, but the opposite side of the coin. What about a guy like Kamala who suffered so bad and was in such poverty until the day he passed, right? He could have really benefited from going into the Hall of Fame. He could have tremendously benefited from a Legends deal, but he never got in. That's a guy that should be in. if I saw the Hall of Fame list this year, and it was natural disasters, Triple H, Michelle McCool, Lex, and Kamala, I would be happy with that Hall of Fame. Kamala very much deserved to be in there. He didn't deserve to have to live the life that he did after wrestling, suffering with, horrible diabetes and suffering with, intense poverty and everything else. Look at Paul Orndorff. Look at Paul, how much he gave to the sport, how much he was so important back in the 80s, the late 80s, that when Hogan wasn't available to do the commercial for the Hulk Hogan workout gear, remember that? The toy stuff that came out?
I saw that the other day.
It was Paul Orndorff that came through the wall. It wasn't Hogan. Like he was such a big piece of wrestling. And before he passed, obviously he had terrible Alzheimer's, but obviously before he passed, there was a few times where they had to open GoFundMe's and everything else to try to keep him from losing his home.
Right.
So that's another guy that could have tremendously benefited from a Legends deal, could have tremendously benefited from Hall of Fame and all that stuff. So
I want to fit in this one. Garrett Peterson,
I want to throw that out there.
The Orient Express.
They were not mentioned, but that's another tremendous tag team, and there is multiple versions of that tag team as well.
And we need to go on and move to our second roundtable question.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. Hold on.
A lot of people were mentioning Edge and Christian. I mean, there's no doubt that they'll be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but where are they at right now? They're not going to get in with
Edge. Edge went in solo in 2012. But again, how do you leave so much out by not putting them both in?
I know. So it'll be
I don't
years
feel like you can
before
even
they
tell
get into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I don't feel like you can even tell Edge's story without Christian. Like,
I agree.
But then again, you can't let everybody in. That's the whole mystique, and that's the whole
right.
What makes it what it is.
But again, if you have,
I understand you can't. I understand you can't let everybody in. I get it, but how do you meet the criteria for not getting in?
Right.
Like, I mean, you'd have to be, like the biggest bum of all time to not get in. If you think about it.
Well, I think some of it has to do with who's picking. When Vinnie Mac was taking over, Lex never got in.
Nope.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I agree.
But I think too, if you have to look at it, back when top 3 tag teams was Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys. So how can you put Edge in on a single when technically it was him and Christian that started it?
And the Dudley Boys are in. So if the Dudley Boys are in,
you got to put
the other 2 in.
I think they'll eventually be in.
Edge got in because he got hurt.
Eventually be in, but I'm with Brian because both of them are in AEW. I think it's going to be a while before they get in as a tag team.
Yep.
Well, not necessarily though,
Billy
because
Gunn got in.
Billy Gunn
got in as DX, and he was AEW. And not only that, you look back, Ric Flair lost his job with TNA to go and appear at the 2012 Hall of Fame to be inducted. So,
right, but the reason, hey little one, the reason that Billy Gunn got in when he was in AEW was because it was DX. So you had Shawn, you had Hunter, you had Road Dogg. Those 3 are the top 3 in the
right.
But they could have said honorable mention or whatever. They could have left them out, but they didn't. So that's what makes me think they could easily put in those guys.
But if Edge didn't get hurt,
still do it.
if he didn't have to retire, he would have never got in that following year.
Nope.
That's why they put him in.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's move on to our roundtable number 2. Who are you looking forward to meeting at Squared Circle Expo?
Kev's getting mad because we're 35 minutes in and we're still on the first question.
Yeah, that's what I was just going on in here. I'm going to go real fast with one name, Lex Luger.
It's uncensored, Kev.
I'm going to go fast next. Lex Luger and who else did I put down? Lex Luger and Jerry the King Lawler. And Bret Hart are those.
Well, Will's going to see Bret for me, so.
Lex,
but
Bret. Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
Oh, go on. I was just saying you were going to see Bret for me.
Lex, Brett, and Tatanka. I got a couple pieces, even though I've had a lot of Tatanka in the past. I got a couple pieces that I need for the PC done. So those three for me are like my must gets because I need them on a couple pieces. So. Guru.
Guru.
Oh man, yes. I'm excited to see. It's the Cinequistal Stud Muffin. I've been wanting to see Joe Gertner for like 5 years. Like Joe Gertner is my favorite, like one of my favorite managers ever.
I'm a Gertner fan.
Never heard of her.
ECW manager.
How have you? How are you? Did you ever watch ECW?
Nope.
Yeah, you're an old fuck. Never mind.
He was manager of the Dudleys.
Woo!
He manages the Dudleys, but Kev, he's like 70. He don't remember the Dudleys.
Those damn
I
Dudleys.
named them off, you bitch.
Because you heard Will talk about them. Swerve, Orange Cassidy, and of course, Kev, you never thought you'd hear me say this, but Bret the Hitman Hart.
That's right.
You got to be, Brett's awesome. So I never thought you'd say it, but you're right.
And I want to say it like Todd Pettengill, you're going up against Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm a Bret fan now. I'm a Bret fan.
Put some respect on that name. That's awesome. Shane, what you
There you
got?
go.
Well, I'm excited to meet Mr. Roger Elkins. Never got to meet him yet.
Damn right.
I'm excited. I'm excited to meet Mr. Phil because I did meet him last year, but I didn't really meet him because I didn't really know you were sitting at the table with us. I remember Manuel.
Shane.
I remember
We
Manuel
understand.
from last year, but I'm
We
excited to
understand
meet.
why.
I'm excited to spend time with all you guys. Fuck all the wrestlers. I'm there for my family.
There you go.
God.
Shane was like,
I
Hey,
do wanna-
Shane, you remember having lunch with me?
Shane was like, who are these fucking guys sitting at the end of the table?
Hey,
I remember him showing up, but I didn't remember Phil until we seen those pictures, and I was like, oh
Shane,
shit, Phil was there too.
All Shane remembers is going outside with Mark. That's all.
Brian
Yeah,
will agree
yeah.
with this. Brian agree with this. Nobody's excited to see Roger Elkins.
Everybody should be excited to see me.
Hey,
I'm
excited.
I'm excited to meet Jerry Lawler. I have a couple pieces signed by him. I don't really necessarily have anything that I need signed by him, but I still would like to meet him and get a picture taken with him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Bret Hart. Bret Hart was here in Michigan, but I missed him, so I don't really have anything to get signed by him either. I have a few of his autographs, but I'd like to meet him, maybe get a picture with him.
Let me throw this out there. Let me throw this out there real fast. Y'all talk a lot of shit about Roger, but y'all ain't never been to a show with Roger, and I have. And that dude has more energy than all of us combined. I'm just going to throw that out there.
But for me, it was Bret the Hitman Hart, Roger Elkins. Oh, that's easy.
Well,
Bret the
William,
Hitman Hart.
that's why he has so much energy. But that's why he goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night.
Well,
Roger
I
was
agree
running
with that.
outside the hall,
I agree
but
with that.
I'm
But
not
what I'm saying is, when we were at the show, like I'm looking for a chair to just kind of relax and sit down there. Roger's like a ping pong ball, man. He's just bouncing,
All right, so
Go
my
ahead.
turn
Go
now.
ahead, Roger. Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Cutting on me, shit, bitch.
Hey, I got your back right there. I had your back.
Honestly, I'm excited to meet Bret the Hitman Hart, Lex, because I've never met Lex. I've never met Bret either, but I've always wanted to meet Lex. I'm very excited about that one. Orange Cassidy, Swerve Strickland, the Hurt Syndicate is who I really want to meet. I've always wanted to meet Bobby Lashley, and of course Shelton Benjamin. It goes without saying, but those are the five that I'm really extremely excited to meet. And then I'm gonna get Manuel off to the side and have him shaking some pins, see who can beat his ass.
I was wondering what you were going to have him do when you were getting him off to the side.
Hey,
I heard him say earlier, $20 is $20. So I was wondering where that was going.
Roger has so much energy because he's quick out of the gate, but he ain't much on stamina.
Yeah, ask my wife about that, bitch.
Brian, I can tell you, as you keep going into it, Brian, I can tell you it gets better. It gets better.
All right, okay, then we'll try him.
That's a
we'll have to try him.
All right, Calvin, I know you're not going, but I wanted to include you anyway.
So I'd be excited to hang out with everybody on here except Roger and King Phil because of he's a Gator hater. But I mean, as far as going, if I was going, Lex.
Fuck the Gators.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you're still getting stuff signed there. So
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
you can talk about that though. You know.
All right, Phil.
So this roster lineup they got this year, I think, is one of the best ones they've had. I seen where they posted that they only had, or they had like, what was it, like 70% new talent this year or something. It was some wild number, but either way, Kurt Angle, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, Bret Hart, and somebody I just seen on their flyer a minute ago.
This guy.
I don't
This
remember.
guy right here.
Yeah, all of y'all. There you go. Yeah.
He's like, I can't wait to see Will. Fuck the rest of y'all.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to go to the fucking
OTC.
bar. I can't wait to bring the buckets, the tequila, Margaret Ripples, and get
Margaret Ripples.
drunk. Thank you.
I'll be linked up to Shane.
And I'm not going to step on Kev's foot this time.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I didn't feel it.
I know you didn't, but I hope you.
He won't feel it this year either.
Kev
I
said,
was like, what happened?
Kev said the next morning, he said, "Did you step on my foot last night?" Brian was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I don't remember.
Hey, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. I'm just saying.
We starting in the morning.
Dude, the
All right,
funniest shit.
guys.
Dude, real quick, funny shit.
Okay.
Will brought up something in the chat yesterday about, I don't remember what he was saying, and he's like, don't be talking about breakfast like that. No
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
Breakfast is gonna be probably those things.
That's right. Hey, I said, let's try these like an appetizer. And he was talking about something else. I said, hey, don't be sassing about your breakfast.
Hey, speaking of alcohol for breakfast, and I got somebody to back me up at 5:30 in the morning of what I was drinking at 5:30 in the morning before we went to Evansville. How about it, Manuel?
There you go.
What was I drinking?
So he came outside and I said, "Are you fucking drinking a margarita?"
Hell yeah.
It's not a margarita, it's a Margaret Ripple.
I said, "It's 5:30 in the morning." Being said, "Yeah, we're just gonna overlook him today."
Right?
Yeah. Hey, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's gonna be us for Indy. All right, guys, we're gonna go into our main event. Here we go. Top 5 WrestleMania matches of all time. Brian,
Yep.
Oh,
your favorite.
well,
Your
I will
top
go quick.
5.
I'll go quick. So I'll start from 5.
Whenever. Go.
So I have Stone Cold versus Rock, WrestleMania 19. I have Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10. Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 10. Macho Man versus Steamboat, WrestleMania 3, and then number 1 has to be Rock versus Hogan, WrestleMania 18.
Wow, I love that.
That's
love
awesome. That's a hell of a list. Will?
So mine are not in that order, although I think he did a wonderful job naming them off like that. But I will tell you, the number 1 match of all time in WrestleMania history is Bret Hart and Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8. You've also got Shawn and Taker at WrestleMania 25. I think it's tremendous. Of course, you've got Shawn and Razor at 10, which is tremendous. Just a wonderful match. You can't, even though it wasn't that great of a physical match, you can't overlook it as being one of the greatest of all time with Hogan and Andre. You just can't. You know, like I debate all the time that Hogan and Bundy in the cage was a better physical match, but you cannot overlook Hogan and Andre. You just can't.
No, it's because the build-up.
Oh, absolutely. You just can't overlook it. And then I would say after that, surprisingly enough, and you know, I may hear some shit later, but Stone Cold and Bret at WrestleMania 13, the submission match. I know there's some great ones out there.
Phenomenal.
But how in the hell? Like that should have been the main event of 13, really. And Hogan and Rock is tremendous, and I want to put that in the top 5. But I feel like if you don't put 3 in there with Hogan and Andre, you don't ever even make it to WrestleMania 4. You know,
to me, that Bret and Stone Cold match solidified his face turn.
Oh, it did so much. It was like the Attitude Era just took like a major kick in the pants. Like it just thrusted them forward.
Right?
When Brett, who was the good guy, was being booed, and even the little tiny things. And I'm gonna shut up because I know we didn't got a lot of time. But listen, the little tiny things like the waist lock that Shamrock puts Brett in to pull him off of Austin and slams him and starts that whole, Brett's a bad guy and the referee had to stop him from doing something against the rules. Like that was just that little bit of added powder to the keg of the Attitude Era. I'm being quiet now. Go, Manuel.
Well, now let me go real fast. The worst thing we can go over. Oh well. You put in the chat. I think the other day was talking about Brett winning the championship and then losing it to Sid that next night, or what? Wasn't that the next night that he started cussing in the ring and pushing McMahon?
No,
When he lost?
it was a different match. So,
All right.
so when that happened with Brett getting hit by Stone Cold with the chair was the night after the Final Four pay-per-view in February. So 2 weeks before WrestleMania 13, there was a cage match for the title between Sid and Brett. And
Okay.
Stone Cold came in, tried to let Brett win it because then it would have been Brett and Stone Cold for the title at 13, which is probably what should have happened. But it didn't.
Right.
But it probably is the match that should have happened. Well, of course, Undertaker gets involved. Sid wins. Brett's frustrated. Vince comes out, grabs the microphone. You've got to be extremely frustrated over what's just happened. And that's when you see Brett show him and says, frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it. This is bullshit.
Bullshit.
And that's when you knew wrestling was really, truly changing into something that you'd never seen.
And not only did he shove him, he shoved the shit out of him. I mean,
Absolutely.
He knocked him on his ass. So, Guru.
So there's a lot of great WrestleMania matches, but I picked 5 that a lot of people probably don't remember. Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Go
You can do
ahead.
whatever you want.
Like WrestleMania 34, Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
Like that's right when
It's your
205.
list.
That's right when 205 was like the hottest thing they had.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like both were underutilized their whole career in WWE. Just my opinion.
While we're here.
WrestleMania 24, Cena, Orton, and Triple H. That triple threat match was, and I look, I'm not a John Cena guy, but that match, he showed everything. I mean, just Triple H's, running knee lift, the spine buster. I mean, it was one of those matches that you couldn't stop watching. The Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and Team 3D at WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
How do you
Hell
not
the match.
love that? How do you not love that? I mean, what was it? Was it like wasn't that the table spot where Bubba went through and one of the Hardys and like I thought they was dead. I thought they were dead. I mean, I truly as a kid growing
Isn't
up.
that the one where Edge speared him up in the air?
Up there.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
man.
it makes you think like, oh my God, man, these kids don't care about their life. As a kid, I'm like, man, these dudes don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I got the Head Shrinkers and the Steiners at WrestleMania 9.
Good match.
Really
Yep.
good
There you
match.
go.
I actually watched it today at work because I was bored. And it just popped up on my phone. I was like, sure, I'll watch it. And then, hey, WrestleMania 32 Money in the Bank ladder match with my boy, woo, you know it.
Yep.
Won his first Intercontinental title. He
That's
did
lost
it for,
the next. Lost the next night.
but he did it for his dad.
That's right. He did. You're right.
He did. Yeah, Kev. That's Kev. After last year, we rode the elevator down to Indy together. We bonded over an elevator. That's my boy.
Damn it! Now I'm pissed because you said he done it for his dad. Now I can't talk bad about it.
Did you not
Shit.
know? Did you not know? Did y'all not know that story?
I didn't.
I think his dad he wanted to win the title for his dad, and that's why they pushed him. That's why Vince gave him the title because he wanted to win the title on the grandest stage of them all, and he did in that ladder match. And then of course he lost it the next night on Raw to Miz.
Well, let's see how it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Lou. I might cry because damn it, Zack Ryder
It's
did
still real to him. Damn it!
It's still real to me. Damn it, Zack Ryder
Hey,
did
the
it for his
Miz.
dad.
The Miz was a tremendous competitor.
He did it for his dad, Lou. He did it for his damn dad.
That's right.
Remember, it's not Matt Cardona you don't like. It's his wife.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
I don't like Matt Cardona, so
Hey, Kev, he did it for his dad. You gotta have
he
a little
does it
bit
for
of
his
sympathy.
dad. We'll keep it at that. All right, Shane.
I didn't really do homework, so I'm gonna
That's
go
fine.
with 5 favorite matches in WrestleManias. I'm gonna go with Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That was one of my favorites. That was a good one. On WrestleMania 3, I'm gonna go Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, where they had the tractor down there and he lifted up the ring. Wasn't that WrestleMania?
Nashville.
SummerSlam.
That's
Oh,
SummerSlam.
it
SummerSlam.
That
was
was
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Okay.
But Roman and Brock did face more than once at WrestleMania though. So I mean technically they faced at 31 and 34 and 38.
Yeah. Hogan and Andre is a good one, and Hogan and Warrior was one that I wanted to say.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a tough one not to get in the top 5, but there's so many. Like I think you could have done top 20 and still left a bunch of content out.
Yeah.
Rod, Roger.
I'm like Shane. I had a extremely busy day today, so I didn't get to go do my homework. So,
I just pick a couple.
uh, Will said it and Shane said it both. Hogan and Andre. Um, the Rock and Hogan. Uh, the one that Manuel talked about with the 3D Edge and Christian and Hardy Boys, the triple
Yep.
threat. That was a great one for me, especially as we were talking about the way that Edge speared him off the ladder. That to me was like one of the greatest moments at that time that you could have during that time. Um, Undertaker and Brock, where it broke the streak. I think that one was. You have to say, in all the times you have to say that was a pretty good one.
Oh
Um,
shit! What the? How the hell did
and
you get out of the lobby?
King Phil's back.
King Phil's back, and
Appreciate
that's
y'all.
all I got for right now. I think it was 4.
All right, Calvin.
So there's a trend with mine, but WrestleMania 2 Hogan Bundy, WrestleMania 3 Hogan Andre, Wrestle- y'all know where I'm going.
Yeah, that's all right.
WrestleMania 5 Hogan Macho, WrestleMania 6 Hogan
Fine.
Warrior, WrestleMania 18 Hogan Rock, and just
Oh,
because
man.
Ben and Dr. Nick ain't here, I'm taking one for them. WrestleMania 41 Night 1 Bloodline Rules, Roman and The Rock versus Cody and Seth.
I don't know. Do you have this thing for Hogan? I'm just asking.
I mean,
I,
have you seen my
hey,
man cave?
let me throw the follow up question in there though. I know how important WrestleMania 3 is, Hogan and Andre, but what was a better match do you think? Out of all those that you just named, what was the better match that Hogan had?
I mean, personally, WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, it was good, right? It was really
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know?
would it have been that, or do you think it would have been Hogan Bundy?
But Hogan Bundy, I think 2 is better than 3, I think. But I think Hogan's had better matches along the way at WrestleMania. The thing is, you just can't have I don't think you ever make it to 4 without Hogan Andre.
Yeah,
Even though if Andre was in better physical shape, that would have been a tremendous match. But Andre could barely move,
Agreed.
so it didn't make for a great actual match. The build-up was
right.
great, the story was great, the finish was great, but the actual match wasn't great because Andre couldn't move. Where
Right.
he's working with Macho Man at 5. Macho Man's incredible in his prime. That's a great match. He's working with Rock at 18. Now Hogan's a lot older at that point, but
Yeah.
Rock's in his prime, so that's a tremendous match too. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there with Calvin.
Phil.
So I got Hogan and The Rock. I've got. I actually It's weird though. I like the Roman Undertaker match just because it's like we was just talking about. It's Undertaker. He's old now. He didn't put on the best match, but it was just I don't know. It was just being an Undertaker fan pretty much my whole life and watching him do his John Wayne ride out saddle moment right there. That was just kind of like nice to see. I don't know, in a weird kind of way. But that triple threat tag team match, of course. Stone Cold and Rock's trilogy, I'll put that in there. And wasn't the Razor Shawn Michaels ladder match in WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 10.
WrestleMania 10.
Yeah. Okay, so that's mine. That's mine.
Hey, I was there for Taker Roman that night. I was in the stands. I was there.
Wow.
And I hear people talk about Undertaker didn't put on his best match and Undertaker this. I tell you what, man, I was there and it was beautiful. If you go back and watch it and don't listen to anything anybody's ever said about it and
Right.
just watch the match, it was a really good match. They did a good job. Undertaker missed a couple spots that he was supposed to hit,
Right.
but I mean that happens in every match.
Yeah,
At
they
some
do that
point.
every now. They do that still right now.
I would challenge everybody here to go back. You don't have to watch all of 33, although it was good, but go back and watch Taker versus Roman at 33, especially the finish where Roman has to kind of fix the finish because Taker missed a spot and he hits the double ropes and then spears him. I'm telling you right now, it was a tremendous match. I was standing there and I mean, you could almost see me like, oh my God, like it was so good. So
Hey,
out.
real quick. What now? Sorry, I'm not so versed on all these, but was Flair versus Shawn Michaels the retirement match? Was that a WrestleMania match?
Yeah, 24.
Surprised
Yeah.
no one picked. No, surprised no one picked that one.
There's a couple that I'm surprised nobody picked that was tremendous, but that's what I'm saying is even top 5. Like we were going to do the Mount Rushmore of them, and we decided to give it an extra one. But you could do the top 20 and still leave out a ton of content. Look at Angle and Lesnar at 19.
Yeah. Or Vince versus Hogan.
Vince and Hogan at 19 with Piper interfering.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tremendous matchup. You had Cena and Michaels at 23. Both of the Rock Cena matches were excellent. Hell, I was there for 28, and it was tremendous. So there's a lot. It's a good thing it's WrestleMania season because there's a lot of WrestleMania you can really talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, show and tell, guys. Show and tell. And I'm going with Calvin first. Here we go.
Calvin
You
Mania.
won't get shout out.
Calvin Mania.
Shout out to William for that.
Damn.
And it's beautiful in person.
That thing's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, man.
And then another shout out to William.
Oh.
Not for that.
That's not yours. That's mine.
For that beautiful Sea of Vicious right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got.
Maybe the last figure Sid ever signed.
It may have been.
It probably was.
It might have been, really. If you think about it.
Yeah.
What did I do? Hold on. Give me a second.
You're good.
Had
Yeah,
one
we don't know
job,
what the hell you
Kev.
did. You got women popping up in there. We don't know what's going on there.
That's why we're uncensored now.
We have to
Yeah, I
go
know.
uncensored.
Okay, I'm figuring this out.
There we go.
There we go. Brian, what's up,
There you
man?
go.
All right, let me. I got to switch something up real quick. Come back to me, okay?
Hell, I'll go. I'll
Okay.
go. I'll
Will
make
said
it
he'll
quick
go. He
too.
said screw it.
Yeah, I handle it for y'all. Hey, I was talking about this earlier, right? This is right after he got the statue unveiled at 33. I was standing right there at the ring when this happened. Rick signed it, and Charlotte signed it right there in the gold. I know the glare is just knocking the hell out of the
that's
auto,
awesome.
but
That
dual
was beautiful.
sign. Rick and Charlotte, guys, 11x17, course certified. You know how we do it around here. But look at
Clean.
that blue, TRC blue. Dude, I was standing right there when this happened. I have pictures on my phone, of this unveiling happening. It was beautiful. It was emotional. We love Ric Flair around here.
So is that going
That
up on
was the
Tuesday
female
night?
version of Kevin Buckler.
Yeah.
I can't put that one up. That one's got to stay with me, because I mean, I was right there. It's kind of one of those things. And then, of course, this past weekend was out finding some good stuff. I only found one, but I found the top pick, CM Punk. Guys, trust me. In the chat, the admin chat, I was asking about who's looking for this, who's looking for that. I was trying to find shit for everybody. Trust
Can
me.
I have it?
Well, you could, but you ain't gonna want it in a minute. So
You're gonna rip it.
Rip it.
see,
Rip it.
you got to go to sleep. So, I
Rip.
mean, you know what we got to do, right? So, but I promise you, Guru, I am looking for one, and I will find you one.
Rip it.
The traditional.
Now
Yeah.
give it
So
to Toss for Jess.
For Jess.
so she bitches when she
Damn
gets
it.
home. Man, look at that.
That is awesome.
That's exactly how I'm planning on posing them too
Yeah.
on the shelf.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I love how that
Yeah.
looks, right? So y'all know I hit that toy show. I only found a couple pieces at the toy show, but man, I tell you what, I was pretty damn happy finding him.
Oh
That's
Right.
Yeah.
original older elite. I think it was like Series 47 elite. Brian Pillman. I'm gonna
Yep.
grab the Austin. The new one that they just came out with has solid black trunks,
Yeah.
but here you
It's
had the
the
Bengals trunks.
Bengals,
So I mean, I'm pretty damn happy with that. Plus, it was the old style elites. Remember before they changed the body, where the chest is what moves up and down, not that little centerpiece. I was pretty damn happy with that find. And then I talked about this, I'm pretty sure in the group chat, but this was like the shortest produced Hogan Hasbro that they made. And
Beautiful.
I'm real finicky on
Yep.
Hasbro's. Like they got to be super clean. Action's got to work. This one had the Hogan Python punch. Action's just as crisp as can be. This thing is gorgeous. Like it could be, packaged fresh, gorgeous, and that's what I love about it. So that will be up on Tuesday because I got some Hasbro's going up, and then we're all looking for superstars anytime we can find them. I needed this one for the shelf, so I mean, you know what we got to do. It's Wednesday night, so we got to just
Rip it.
Jeff's gonna come home and be like, "What the hell?" Look at that.
That's awesome.
Debut.
Hey, Will,
Tonka.
don't forget me and you are going next. We have more show and tell.
I know, but I mean, I got so much, I never get to all of it.
Oh, go.
I won't even get to
you
them.
No, go on. I'm just telling you that I'm going to show those.
I had one of these, but somebody that I care about very much wanted it more than I wanted it. So I hooked him up with it, and I got me another one, and finally found me another one after all this time. So you know what we got to do, right?
Ribbit.
Stuck in that package.
This is gonna kill you.
I know, man. She's always like, "What the hell?" Look at that.
That's beauty.
That's gorgeous. Of course, you got the accessories back there too. So, I mean, I could go all night, guys. I'm telling you, I got like 40 something figures that I need to open. But I'm gonna. Well, I was gonna stop right there, but let me show a couple more real quick. I found this guy, Brian Akana, had a bunch of figures he was selling. I picked up his lot of figures. I grabbed that Warrior. It did come with the accessories, the jacket and stuff, but I took it off because it looks better without it. And then, of course, another Undertaker.
Sweet.
Nice.
Superstars, so. All right, I'm going to stop right there because I know Kev's got a couple pictures, too, of some stuff we found. Pretty cool stuff. So go ahead, Kev.
Apparently one of them's
Okay,
a girl.
Brian, I'll be back with you in just a minute.
You're good.
I got some stuff that I'm going to share for me and Will.
Come on, Kev.
Give me a minute. This is a bitch.
You got one job, Kev.
One job.
Hold on. Okay. That's Will's show and tell right there.
Oh, yeah. King
Oh,
Kong
yeah.
King
Bundy.
Kong
Tom Bundy.
Heels and faces, baby. Another retro. We love those retros.
Oh yeah.
Will's got one more show and tell too, right here, and this is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Bastion
I have
Booger.
that one. I have that one. Yep.
It's sweet, right?
Yep.
And that thing will end up getting open. And here's mine.
And that thing stinks like Bash and Booger too. I'm kidding, it doesn't. Oh, that's nice too.
That's my show and tell one.
Oh yeah.
That
I fell
was
in
that
love
was
with this.
that was their attire from 7, right? From WrestleMania 7.
Right.
Nice.
Loved it. And got one more.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
1-man gang, baby.
That's a beautiful figure too.
I made a. I
That's
went
another
shopping
one
the
I'm
other
ex-
day.
That's another one I'm excited to meet at Squared Circle.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hell of
Do
a
you
nice
have that
guy.
one, Brian?
Yeah, I do, Kev.
Cool deal.
Hell of a nice guy.
All right, that's what I want to show. Brian, you're next.
Okay. All right, so back to the heels and faces. So I finally got this in after what seemed like a year ago. I got the CM Punk, but it also comes with his dog Larry.
Oh, nice.
So I've been opening my retros. So
Hell yeah.
That's
Perfect.
cool.
I'll rip this bad boy open real quick.
You're gonna open
And
AJ Lee.
I'm opening up his little dog too.
It's
Oh,
AJ
yeah.
Lee.
That was a
this
Wizard of
is-
Oz reference if you guys didn't
was.
catch it.
So that's the CM Punk. All the tats. And then there's his dog.
Hey AJ.
You know, I'll tell you this, Brian. I like that dog better than I like Mongo's dog.
Very true. So my brother
Fucking
was
in
at
a
Walmart
Mexican hat.
yesterday. So my brother was at Walmart yesterday, and they had that WrestleMania shipper up, and he texted me a few pictures of some things, and he picked this up for me.
Nice.
Nice.
Nope. And
It's
then
way better loot.
I also
It's
and then I
way
got this in
better
as,
loot.
and then I got this in as well. I got the Monday Night
Oh,
Wars team.
nice.
Oh, nice.
I like that
Rip
one.
it.
No. And then
Gotta
last but
feel
not least,
good.
I got this in from William the other day. Now this piece I'm going to get signed eventually, but
Hell yeah.
clean.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the eyes. That's what stands out to you
So-
right there is the eyes on that bad boy. Hey, Brian, look what you're missing out on right here
What?
on your Hulk.
Hold on. Shit.
A belt?
No, look at your Hulk. Look.
You can't
Wow.
see.
I can't see you.
Oh, yeah. Well, eventually the camera will switch.
No, I can't see him there.
Oh, the pose.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
I like that.
See, that's why you rip it.
Look at this shirt.
Dude, this is an awesome
Sure.
Hogan.
It is a sweet Hogan, man.
The only thing I wish,
Was you done,
I wish
Brian?
the boa was like, I wish the boa was like real boa.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I'm done, Kev.
Okay, Roger.
All right, so I got a box from Ben with a
Nice. 1, 2, 3 kid.
1, 2, 3 kid, 6-pack, all the different ones. I'm gonna get that signed. Hopefully, get him signed off all of it at Indy. Got a Trinity.
Nice. Feel the glow, baby.
Feel the glow. And
Bless you.
and then this one, thank you.
Muda.
Great Muda. Maybe we'll get lucky one day and get Tajiri to sign.
He was there
And
last
then-
We
year.
saw
wasn't he?
Tajiri. We saw Tajiri last year.
Isn't
He was
Tajiri
there
in
last year.
Square Circle?
I don't know. He was there last year. I don't know if he's there this year.
And then I found this
Oh, yeah.
Bray Wyatt at the store.
Nice.
And so, oops, shit. You know what we got? You know what we got to
There you
do?
go.
Rip
There you
it.
go. Rip that bad boy.
Throw it on the floor so Mrs. Elkins could clean it up.
Oh yeah, there you
There
go. There you go. Look at that. That's gorgeous, man.
Nice.
I love it.
That one's beautiful. And then I found a Daniel Bryan
Nice.
and Claudio Castagnoli. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to rip those open right here.
I'll tell you what though,
Hey,
man.
brother.
Say whatever you want about AEW. I say this every week, but they put out some fire figures.
They do. They put out some great figures.
Cool deal.
And that's all I got.
Awesome. Good job, Roger.
Nice, Roger.
All right. Where the hell did? Okay. We'll go with Guru.
All right, just so Calvin, yours and Brian's Hogan is boxed up and taped up. I was just too lazy to print the shipping labels off today. but they'll be out next couple days. Just, I'm late, but
Is it
I
That's
got
what she.
this.
That's what she
I got
said.
I got that signed over the weekend. You know,
Nice.
A wrestling god.
a wrestling
Yep.
god.
Hell yeah.
And he said,
a
if
wrestling
you think, if you
goddamn
think,
dumbass?
he said, if you think I'm a wrestling god, I'll sign it for free. And I said, you are a god. And he said, you know what? I like you.
Rip it.
I bet he
Rip it.
didn't sign it for free though, did he?
Yeah, eventually he did. I got my money back. He
Rip
was
it.
super. He was super nice. Like he was super nice, in a great mood.
Ben and rip
That's
it.
because you didn't have Bid up there with you talking to him.
Yeah.
Well, no, he came over to the table and talked to Francine, and Ben would talk to him. He's like, "Nice to meet
Yeah.
you, Ben." And Ben was like, "Nice to meet you, JBL."
Yeah.
And then
That's
JBL
not
walked
that's,
off.
that's not what he said last time he met Ben.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Oh shit! Sorry.
I got Enzo.
Oh yeah. Realest guy in the room. How you doing?
Hey, he was cool. He was super cool, man. He was
Yep.
like, hey, he's like, do you care? He's like, I'll sign it for you. But do you care if I go smoke a cig real quick? And I was like, hey, bro, you go smoke a cig.
Yeah. You do you. Now you got to. Now you got to meet Big Cass, man.
Well, here's what's funny. When I walked up to get it signed, he was he was FaceTiming Big Cass. And he was
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh damn. He's like, oh damn, you got a sham with me and Big Cass. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I know a guy that can sign Big Cass for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll get it signed for you. I was like, okay.
I know a
Should have
guy.
fucking
I
left
know a
it with
guy
him.
that. Hey.
I know a
Hey. I know
guy
a
can
guy that
get it
could
signed
sign
for
Big
you
Cass on
too.
there too.
But then I got a box on that bed. There's a box of figures that I haven't opened yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now let's Shane.
I don't got nothing new, but I figured I'd show this guy, Serpentor,
Oh,
There you
sweet.
go.
with his little chariot.
Sweetness.
Oh yeah.
It's from the 80s, 85,
That's the original.
86.
Love the 80s.
And then the classified version, I got.
It's awesome.
Rip it.
Rip it.
Oh, damn.
Oh, he is.
Look at that.
See, that's an awesome figure, man.
That's
That is.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's about as far as it's getting opened.
Oh man. He was teasing us a little bit.
That's all I got.
All right.
That was one of those just a tip kind of things.
Yep.
And we have Dr. Phil shit. King Phil.
I do the same thing every time.
So, got this nice TRC blue signed
Bob Orton,
Bob
baby.
Orton,
Cowboy Bob
Beautiful.
Orton. There
Cowboy
you go.
Bob, and the nice TRC blue. Let me let y'all zoom in so y'all can see that TRC blue. Look at that.
I know. I love that blue. I tell you, that's probably one of the best things we've done as a group is focus on the colors because we have done such a great job all together getting the best colors on stuff.
For sure. And I'm a one and done type of guy, so that's it.
All right, guys. That does it. We're going to go to Will for our closing comments.
Wow. So closing comments. Well, all I can say is after a night like that, after looking at these things, after having these conversations, great comments, just a wonderful night. I would say, we're really lucky to have each other and we're really lucky to have the things that we have going on in our lives. And, there's always going to be some hurdles, but just talk through them, work through them, and look at the positive side, and I think it'll carry you through. And if it doesn't, there's always Kettle One vodka. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget on Tuesday Night Live, 8 o'clock Tuesday, Jess is going to return. It'll be Jess and I together for the first time in a long time doing the live sale, and of course Ben will be right there with us. And back in the day, it was always just Jess and I before Ben and I partnered up. So really looking forward to that. I have a feeling there's going to be some stuff coming out of some closets for that one. So definitely tune in if you can. If not, check out the replay. And then, of course, next week, 9 o'clock Wednesday night. We'll be right back here for TRC Uncensored. And guys, if you're not counting down the days and the weeks and the hours at this point to squared circle with all of us together, I think you're missing out because I tell you, I'm really looking forward to it. We appreciate each and every one of you guys and you guys listening on replay because we get a lot of views on Thursday morning. So have a great night,
Vodka
everybody.
Cran strong.
Vodka
right,
Cran
thanks,
strong.
guys.
We'll see y'all soon.